Yo, so I want to have a conversation, man, before we go. I want to get you on your way. Please excuse my candor. I can be harsh, but I just want to have a conversation about some things that's dear to my heart. First of all, we need to understand this, you all. We're living in a time where people are very, very ambitious, but because of social media and because of all of these get rich quick schemes and people and the sound bites, everybody's saying all you have to do is do this to be successful. Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand this. I don't know if your mom or your dad told you or your upbringing, but nothing is handed to us. You need to understand that. Nothing is going to be given to you. The world doesn't owe you anything. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how skilled you are. Nothing will be handed to you in life. And you need to understand that, especially young people. You need to understand that nothing will be given to you and the world owes you nothing. Nothing owes you anything. No one owes you anything. That success in your life is predicated upon, and we're going to talk about it in a few minutes. Everything is predicated upon two things: what you've earned and the effort that you put in. Period, point blank. End of discussion. You need to understand that. I know you're talented, and I know you go to church, and I know you're a Christian or whatever your faith is, and I know you've had people to tell you that you're the best thing since apple pie. But understand this, you all. Nothing is going to be given to you. You have to earn it, and you have to put in the effort. Here's rule number one: you don't deserve to achieve above someone else. And I think people do this all the time. People think that because they are good and they've been at a particular place longer, then that means that they are qualified to get promotions or be seen or their name is supposed to be selected. Absolutely not. Have you earned it? Just because you've been at the company a long time and just because you've been around a long time does not mean that you deserve to be promoted or highlighted. That doesn't mean that. Have you earned it? See, this is one of the things I'm finding out, that people who have been around the longest, they tend to be the laziest. They tend to be over familiar. They tend to not put in, they stop putting in effort. You all know how it is. Your first day of work of your new job, your interview, you see how, from the interview to 6 months later, you're not that same person that interviewed. And so the problem is you think that because you've been there 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that you deserve to be promoted, or just because you have a good product, or just because someone said that's dope, or someone said that has the possibility to become something, you think that you're supposed to be something overnight. Let me just say this to you: just because you went to college and now you have your little stupid degree, that doesn't mean you deserve to be hired. No, absolutely not. Nothing is going to be given to you. So you might as well stop being sad and stop saying, when is my time? Your time is going to be your time. Until then, how have you earned what it is you desire? You need to ask yourself that question, ladies and gentlemen. Have you earned the very thing that you have that you desire? Number two, what kind of effort do you put in? Are you a hard worker? Do you spend countless hours and countless nights putting in the effort to become whatever it is you want to become? You do not deserve to achieve above someone else. You're not special. I don't care what you feel about yourself. The world does. You have to prove to the world that you deserve to be present. You have to prove to the world that you deserve to be hired. You have to prove to the world that what you have, what you believe you have to offer, is worth being. It's worth being looked at, or it's worth choosing. It's worth visibility. You have to prove that. You have to prove that, and you prove that by earning it, and you prove it by effort. You only deserve what you have earned. You need to write that down. You only deserve what you have earned. You deserve based upon the time that you have put in, working and becoming better. Now, I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's journey is different, but this is what I was talking about on yesterday. Everyone has a different journey, but there are two types of people in the world. On every journey, there is either the lollygagger or the person that's determined. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say, you all, that we're on our way to California. You may be on your way to New York, and I may be on my way to Texas. We all have a different path. But I decided to go to Texas. I'm you to pay attention to this, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to go to Texas, and I said to myself, I'm going to leave at 8 a.m. But I didn't leave until 3 p.m. Then when I finally left, I drove an hour. I pulled over to a gas station and fell asleep. Woke up 2 hours later, drove again, and then decided I was too tired or didn't feel like driving, so I pulled over to a hotel. Slept 8 hours. Woke up, went shopping. Now, the person on their way to California said they were going to leave at 8 a.m. and they left at 7:50. They drove 5 hours straight, pulled over, got gas, ate, back on the road. They drove another 3 hours, pulled over, got a hotel, only slept for 4 hours, got back up, got back on the road. Here's what the world is. The world is, this is society. We have different journeys, but we're trying to figure out why we have not achieved or accomplished like someone else has. Well, you have to own it. Did you lollygag? Did you make it make sense, Dr. Gabe? Did you vacillate for 2 or 3 years? Did you play around? Did you get distracted for 4 or 5 years? Did you get distracted in a stupid relationship? No, but someone else said, well, I'm not dating right now. Someone else didn't. They never said, I don't know. They maximized every season of their life. They didn't play in school. And when they graduated, they went and they were just focused. And so sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we're comparing ourselves to people who simply, they're not better than us. They're not more talented. They're not smarter. We all have different paths. But the thing that they did not do was lollygag. You spent all your money. You spent it on whatever. You were trying to look good, trying to be cool. You went out, you went to clubs. And so here's the thing. You can't be mad at a person that's the same age, but they've accomplished more when you had the same opportunity to stay home from the club. You couldn't give yourself 2 years of just complete dedication. And we have the audacity to ask God, when is my time? We have the audacity to feel sad. No, you lollygagged on the way to your destination. See, when you lollygag, it doesn't matter that California is further than from Georgia than from Georgia to Texas. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, they had a shorter trip. No, it doesn't matter. It's about the determination. The person that went to California, get this, they were determined, and in the determination, they were focused. And the person that had a trip to Texas, yes, there may be people who have advantages, and yes, there may be people who start off a little further, but it all boils down to your determination. The person that had and that's why, Brandy, people who are not as academic tend to be more successful than people who are academic. Because when you have had to endure a lot of stuff, you learn focus. But when everything has been given to you, you lollygag. You think that you have time. And a person that understands no, and a person that's always been rejected, and a person that's always been overlooked, something happens in them that says, you know what? I'm so used to no that when I hear a no, I'm not surprised and I'm not taken aback. I'm just going to keep focused. And that's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. Just own it and be honest with yourself. You lollygagged. You played around the last 5 or 6 years. You played around with people, played around in relationships, played around with money, played around with your time, played around with your focus, played around. You jump from job to job. Of course, you're not going to make 6 figures by the time you're 40. You've never stayed in place or stayed focused long enough to even earn that. So we need to understand nothing's going to happen. Nothing's handed to us. Number 2, you need to understand that nothing happens overnight. Anything you're building, anything you're trying to accomplish. Let me say this before I say that. See, the average American is Friday. It's the end of the week. It's your time to rest. And that's why you're not great. That the average person says, thank God it's Friday. Great people say, thank God it's Monday. That the average person hates Monday. Great people, they love it. The average person loves Friday. But great people love the Monday. You know why? Because every day is Friday. Every day they have the energy. Every day they have the focus. Every day they have the determination. And that's why you'll always be behind. And that's why you'll always be hired and you'll never hire. That's why people won't know your name. Nothing's going to be handed to you. Number 2, nothing happens overnight, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to be, it blows my mind how many people want it now and you just started yesterday. 2 years is not a long time, y'all. What you talking about? 2 years is not a long time, ladies and gentlemen. That you really shouldn't be looking for substantial results until you're 10. No, and I know it's hard to hear because on social media, they say all you have to do. I have this method to get you to do this. Everything, y'all, do you notice that every person is promoting the quick, but it's never free. Now you missed that. Have you ever noticed that anything that you can do now, you can get it in a few days. You can get it in a few weeks. You do notice you have to pay for it, right? That it's just a gimmick. Let me tell you what they did. They put in 5, 6, 7 years and came up with a system to get you to buy into it. And they know that you will never buy into 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but you will buy into 3 weeks. And it's a gamble that you will see results. But at that point, they really don't care because you've already bought it. Because the people who are sitting at the top of the mountain, it took a minute to get there. And they're not going to tell you that because you're just a consumer. They are only going to tell the real secrets to the people who have what it takes. And the real secret is, you need to understand this. Number one, nobody's going to hand you anything. You got to work for it. Number two, it's not happening overnight, y'all. It's not happening overnight. You just started cutting hair. You just started doing hair. You just graduated. You just started the product. You just started the business. You've only been in it a few months, 12 months. See, we can say a year, but no, 12 months. You've only been doing it 24 months. You left your job to build a business and you think that it's going to just happen because you're a good person. No, bro. I was talking yesterday, doing my mentorship, And I said to this phenomenally talented person, I said, this is possible, but the first thing you need to do, get this. I didn't say come up with a strategy. This is possible, but I didn't say the first thing we need to do is come up with a strategy. He says, it's stupid. I need a strategy. No, you need to wrap your mind around one thing. It's going to take time. And if you're not okay with the time it's going to take, you need to find something else to do. David Shands told me this, y'all, several years ago. He says, it took Eric Thomas 20 years to become the motivational speaker that's known around the world. Then he says this, he asked this question. What if Eric Thomas would have quit the 19th year? Here's a question for you very talented and intellectual people. Do you have 19 years in you to do one thing over and over again, watching it fail? No, and that's the truth. The truth of the matter is, because I know you answered it. No, you don't have it. You don't have 19 years in you. Eric Thomas is now the #1 motivational speaker in the world. He's 52 years old. I talked about him last week. 52 years old, #1 motivational speaker in the world. And the problem is, you want to be the #1 motivational speaker in the world at 25. You're a fool. You're a fool. You want to be the top beautician at 25 in Atlanta. I don't care about your industry. I don't care. Hear me. I don't care about what you saw on YouTube. You want to go viral tomorrow. Well, here's the problem with being viral, y'all. 5 years ago, viral was viral. 5 years later, viral is normal. So if you have 100,000 followers, whoop-de-doo. No. 5 years ago, going viral was like, wow. 5 years later, if you went viral, that's just like saying, I woke up this morning. God bless you. Now going viral is average. Nobody cares. People are doing the stupidest stuff and going viral. So that means nothing about who you are that you're viral now. But this man is 52 years old and he's he charges $100,000 to $200,000 to speak for 1 hour. You charge $50 to do lashes. You know why you can only charge 50? Because you've only been doing it for a couple of months. But if you want to charge your top price, you got to put in the time for it. And it's going to take time. I'm about to get into real estate. It's a hot market. The market is hot. You not. What are you talking about, idiot? The market is hot. You're not. So you don't get into it because it's a hot market. Do y'all know Airbnb was like crazy just 12 months ago, just 24 months ago? Now you don't hear anything about it. You have to stop jumping on waves and decide that I'm going to build or create an ocean. And that, my friend, takes time. So, Dr. Gabe, what do you do? What do you do while you're waiting? Glad you asked. Smart man. #1, you need to master it. Master it. I'm done. Master it. No, I want to take my time on this one a little bit because I want you to understand something. That you have to assume that there are 22 million people trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. I'll give you a little story. I have a team of people that because I'm good at something or because we are good at something, they suggest that we should go out and start teaching people how to do it. And I always bring them back in and I say, no, because we're good at it, but we don't have enough to prove that we're the best at it. That we don't have the proof right now. People want proof. So until you master it, until you've done it, get this, you all, until you've done, Brandy, listen to me. You're not, I don't care how dope your website is. Have you done 2,000 websites before? Have you done 2,000? You ain't mastered it yet. What do you do while you're waiting on whatever to happen to come true? Master what it is you're doing. How good are you? Are you a master at it? That's what blows my mind. People have the nerve to be disappointed with where they are. Well, what next? Don't ask what next until you have mastered what is now. You suck right now. Why do you think you're going to be great at the next? You suck now. You're average now. And the characteristics and the habits that you have now, you're going to take that to the next. You're garbage now. And until you master your now, the responsibilities that you have right now, hear me, I have aspirations. I would love to follow in the footsteps of the Eric Thomases of the world, charging $200,000 for an hour. I would love it. But I have to master my now while at the same time believing in my tomorrow. Whatever task or assignment that you have been given today, master that. How many conference calls have you hosted? How many training classes have you hosted? You've done a dozen. You're not a master at it yet. You still get nervous. You want to be a speaker. You want to be before people, say something, do something. You still get nervous. You still panic. That means you're garbage. I'm not talking about natural nerves. I'm talking about you're still having basic level conversations about your particular grace, gift, job. What that means you have not mastered it. So what do you do until you're waiting on your big whoop-de-doo dream to happen? You master today, because those habits are going to come or going to be needed tomorrow. You got to master what you have now. Number two, you got to be the best at it. You got to be the best at it. Be the best at what you are doing. Now, here's my favorite part about that, y'all. How do you know if you're the best? Ask people who don't love you, are you good? Ask people. This is one of the things I found out. No one interviews people about themselves. What I mean by that is start interviewing people about you. Tell me about how good I am. Tell me about this product. Tell me about my grace. Tell me about my gift. Tell me about how I am, what I do. From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how can I improve? How can I get better? This is how you know that you are improving. Hear me. Stay away from asking people who love you. because they're going to be biased and they're not going to want to hurt your feelings. And the world you're trying to tap into, break into, they don't care about you. They don't care about your feelings. They only care about your product. And if your product is not good enough, if you're not good enough, hear me very carefully. If you have only been critiqued and if you've only been around the people who just believe in you, then you're probably going to be ill prepared. Number last, promote it. Promote your product until everybody wants it. Don't stop until everybody wants what you have to offer. Until then, you can't quit. Don't stop until everybody wants what you have to offer. Listen to me, y'all. I started this church 9 years ago. 9 years ago. 6 people. Six people. Oh, I've moved into a space of insanity. Insanity. Not complacency, but insanity. That's how much I believe in it. And I can't stop until it's a demand. Until people say, this is what I want. Until the masses, this is what I want. That's so you have to promote it until everybody wants what you have to offer. When I say everybody, I'm not saying literally everybody, until you become a demand. That's how you know. Or am I a demand? I'm not talking about am I an option? Am I a choice? No, I'm a demand. That's how you know that you've reached that place. Until you are a demand, you have work to do every single